Clock out, come home, and drink away. To bash and burn the weekly plays. Douchey calls and sweaty balls, this is Scotch sporting.
Oh God, I'm all over the place.
Pew 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 pew.
All right, this is the
That's
worst
okay.
starting ever.
I was just getting caught up on my neighborhood Facebook page.
Your neighborhood Facebook page.
Yeah, real big drama.
Okay.
That's workers trying to back a large truck into a drive off street where I live, and are looking for the owners of a black Nissan compact SUV parked on the west side and a white Hyundai Accent on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going door to door. I thought I'd try here.
Well,
so big drums.
I have a compact Nissan SUV, but I don't think it's parked. Oh, it's also not black.
Oh,
so it's not me.
Darn it.
It is not me. They call my car an SUV, by the way. Believe that
I'm
shit.
also a mini SUV though, right?
But it's on my insurance. It's listed as SUV, and I'm like, that's smaller than my Versa, which was a fucking hatchback compact. The car is literally smaller than the Versa was. But no, this is a crossover sport, some shit bullshit. Cost me extra money in insurance.
A cute ute.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
Like
and I got
Subaru Forester.
I took it to the mechanic 2 weeks ago. Got everything taken care of. Fucking check engine light came back on. Swear to God.
It comes and goes away. Like with mine.
Yeah.
I've had it for like what, 8 years now, that issue? Just this year, they're like, your service engine's lights on. I'm like, yeah, it's been on and off for years.
Yeah.
You guys never said it before until now, so I don't know why you guys even brought it up. So
you guys
have
never noticed.
Repaired right now. We have the service due light on all the time, and you just hit a button when you get in the car and it turns it off.
Oh, I don't have the button that does that.
But then you have to do that every time you get in the car.
Right. I still wish I could turn it off because it's really annoying. Because it's like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You can take off. Is there any way to get behind that glass and put like black tape?
There is. Yeah. But I have to I literally have to take the whole the screws are behind my steering wheel, so I gotta yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
That seems like a lot of effort.
It's too much work. It's too much work.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the Clerks 3 trailer today?
I did. I saw the poster yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, yes.
Yes. All right. So, Mark, are you in?
I am definitely in.
Okay, cool. Because me and Jer have already talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gonna do the same thing he's done with the last few, where he takes the movie on tour before it gets released in theaters. So if there's
movies come along with that,
that would be nice. Right? But yeah, if there is a Toronto date, you are in. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Really, the Clerks series for you guys.
Oh man, I know you have no idea. Kevin Smith was like that shit. That shit hits. And let's not forget, dude did one of the first connected universes ever.
Yes,
his movies are all connected, mostly connected, and he was doing it in the 90s. So
I really like Dogma.
Dogma's great. Fantastic. Dogma's great. Worst part about Dogma though is nobody owns the rights to it. It's in rights limbo. It's not on any streaming services. You can't buy it on DVD. You can't buy it on Blu-ray. The rights are
on DVD when it came out, so I still have that.
Yeah, I have my DVD as well. I also have you can find digital copies if you know where to look. Because I have a digital copy of it, but
the internet.
Yes, that's right.
Well, you guys missed Pauly Shore as Pinocchio.
What?
I don't
So
think I missed anything.
It wasn't an official bad movie night. It was just shooting the shit about it. And then Rothman and I said, we should watch this. And then we got extremely high and watched Pauly Shore. So it's called Pinocchio True Story. It is $1.99 on Prime, so I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm sure you gentlemen on the dark web could find it.
The dark web.
I decided to shell out the $2.
What's $2, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a Russian, like a Russian American joint effort.
Okay.
It's animated.
Was it $2 to rent or to buy?
It was to rent.
Oh my god. Okay.
To buy was like a regular $20 movie price.
Right. You're not buying this.
I'm not. I kind of want to now, because I feel the script was written in Russian and then just pumped into Google Translate.
Oh, that's
The
beautiful.
lines, all of the lines made sense, but they weren't how any human English speaker would speak.
Right.
It was very, this is how I learned English in school versus how I normally speak it.
Who got credit for the writing?
Russian people.
Like, you actually go to the IMDb, it'll be like Russian names?
Yes, it's Russians. It's a joint Russian. So it's Pauly Shore, John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite, and
what happened to that dude?
Well, he's in a cartoon with Pauly Shore.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Oh, it's cartoon. I thought it was live action.
It's so stupid. It does take it from stupid, and we get so beyond stupid we come back to incredible.
Right.
The plot lines make no sense. There's really random singing by only one of the characters. You're not sure who the villain is. A couple of the characters were pretty sure they only had like one animation cell of them in one pose.
Okay.
Because there's one character that's carrying a gun for no reason for a lot of it. And so I think they just want it animated with a gun in his hand. And then the rendering of the background animation is, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon level of graphics, just on loop.
Well, here we.
So is this like an unofficial sequel to it?
Please pause.
Well, I'm not playing the audio. I'm just playing the video, so we can get a look at what this.
Okay, it looks better than I thought it was going to be.
The audio?
I don't know.
Can we just?
Well, it won't matter because you guys won't hear the audio.
Oh, but the second Pauly Shore's character speaks,
yeah,
you die. You just die, and you continue to die laughing every time he opens his mouth.
Okay, so this is worth watching.
It is worth every second of your life you will put into watching this.
I mean, do you think about the amount of time you have in this life?
Yeah.
And to think about throwing away an hour and 29 minutes of it.
Spoiler alert, what do you name like two things you think of when you think of Pinocchio?
The nose growing.
Okay.
Wait, but this is a sequel, so he's a real boy at this point, or is he still?
No. So okay, that's the other one that he's wooden, right?
Wooden. He's adult.
He's wooden.
Is his nose dead now?
The nose is never mentioned, and the whole lying thing is never a thing.
Okay.
It's just not. It's like it doesn't do that.
Interesting.
So he's just a living doll now?
Is he still a doll?
He is just a doll, and everyone is so nonchalant about it.
Right.
That everyone just casually knows he's made of wood. And he gets lured. I'm just going to spoil a couple plot points. He joins a circus for adventure, literally no other reason other than adventure. And he isn't in the circus because he is a human made of wood. He's in the circus because he's really good at show jumping with his horse.
Played by John Hader.
Played by John Hader. So there's no Jiminy Cricket. The foil is a horse.
Wow.
The horse becomes it. So they go off and do some adventure together, and they're both running away, and they beat whoever kind of the midpoint villain is. And for no reason other than I think they just didn't want the horse in a scene. He just goes, "I have something else I have to do. I'll meet you later." And he just exits a scene. He's been with Pinocchio the whole time, and I have something else I have to do. You can't come. I'll see you later. And then he just joins him later in the movie with no explanation as to what's going on.
Incredible.
Is it like the Game of Thrones Dragon where it's too expensive to keep using him, so we have to not use them anymore for a bit.
I think so. Sorry, I need to turn off the sound of my email. And he leaves his dad, Geppetto,
Right.
and he goes on the adventure with the horse, and he's like, I don't have my dad anymore. You have to be my dad now. And the horse goes, oh, okay. And then that becomes a plot point. Whenever he has to make a decision and the horse doesn't want to, it's, well, you're my dad, aren't you?
Wow.
It's worth.
So weird.
I'm so excited about talking about it.
Well, I guess you guys know what you're going to talk about on Cinematic Inquisition next week.
I will happily join. And of all these dumb things, these stupid plot points I mentioned, I neglected to mention that it's Pauly Shore.
Right.
And that should be enough for anyone to see this movie.
It should be.
Now, you may have joked about being on Cinematic next week, but you could actually, because we are supposed to be doing The Unbearable Weight, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was a great movie.
I still have yet to watch it.
You still have to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, too.
I do, yeah. I haven't been
fun.
watching shit, man. Just TV.
It led this perfect line, like, I'm not a fan of the Sharknado movies because they know they're dumb, and it's like let's be stupid and wink at the audience while we do it. And then there's good bad movies like Pinocchio.
Right.
But The Unbearable Weight, I was nervous would be more in Sharknado territory, but it's not. It's genuinely like, it almost takes it even further and makes it fun again.
Was it Snakes on a Plane territory? Because Snakes on a Plane, I love that movie. I think that is one of those ones where it winks at the audience just the right amount.
Yeah, I would say so.
Wait, Mark, do you not like Snakes on a Plane?
No, I like it, but I don't think it's like as satirical and in your face as that movie was.
Okay.
Yeah, I get like the writing in Unbearable Weight is clever. Like the satire of it is also quite fantastic.
Okay. I need to watch
Pedro
it.
Pascal.
He's a beautiful human being.
Yeah. That winking just enough and taking it from a Sharknado to a fun, we know we're fun, I would say yes.
Right.
How are you, gentlemen, on our Scotch Sporting podcast? That is the podcast that we do.
This is about sports?
Yes.
Okay. I think I can bullshit about sports.
Just get poor anyone listening to this. If this is annoying you, it's going to get worse when Game of Thrones comes back.
No, because we're gonna have the outlet for Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because we're gonna talk about House of the Dragon right after it airs, and then that'll be out of our system by the time.
Okay.
Unless we get really heavy on Reddit and we're like, hey, I saw this thing today about Jon Snow and this and that.
Have to rejoin those subreddits. Oh boy.
Just which one is it? The Free Folk. That's the one to stay away from. Free Folk's the bad one.
Free Folk's the one that's like, you don't like the book, or you only watch the show.
Yeah. They're the gatekeeper ones.
There's I think it's just AS.
Yes, that one's fine. That one's fine.
That one's good. That one is like TV books. And then there's one that's just Game of Thrones. That's where the knuckle draggers go.
That's right.
Just watch the show. Well, we are a sports podcast. I'm very sleepy, so it is on you guys to wake me up with your joy of sports. Although
I can't wait to share all my knowledge about this whole Kevin Durant to Toronto thing. I have so much knowledge about basketball.
That's why I've kept it. I have some generic questions.
Which is good.
As a sports fan in general, because I think, and spoiler for when we do our deep dive, we've talked about contracts and athletes sitting them out before, and you sign a rookie deal, now you're worth a lot. Like what the Le'Veon Bells do. I think we talked about that when it happened. This is another interesting situation.
Yes. That's for sure.
So we will start off with our Scotch sporting leadoff. I almost made this 5 questions about the Blue Jays, but then Baker Mayfield got traded. So we'll start with the first one. Bye Baker Mayfield after the Browns it, and then Baker went, go fuck yourselves. Like, you're screwed. You made this bet. Goodbye. And then just
Yeah,
He
like
has
I'm not
been-
playing for you anymore. Fuck you guys.
Baker. He has been traded to the Carolina Panthers, who have him and Sam Darnold as their quarterbacks.
Oh, that's funny.
Who is in? I guess the Browns are still in a worse situation.
Yeah, because they still might have.
They don't have a quarterback at all.
So my friend posted in another thread. And he said, "Does this mean the Browns think Deshaun will start for them?" And I said, I don't know what you guys. I think it's no. I think Baker was like, I don't care if you keep me on your roster. I will never
Baker will not play. That's just
I
the way it
will
is.
drop the ball if punted to me. I will not
run
throw
it back
it.
into my own end
Like,
zone.
Ooh,
Get the safety.
safeties all
accurate.
game.
So they traded him. This was really just an excuse to take a minute to talk about Mark's dumb tweets that you sent us after the trade with the Cleveland Browns. Mark, would you please tell us about these magical statistics you dug up in this minute?
Well, I was looking at the dead money because apparently when the Browns agreed to trade Baker to Carolina, they also got Cleveland to pay for half the salary.
It's more than half, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 of the 18 million, essentially. Right. So I found a tweet saying, here are the top 15 highest dead money hits in NFL history. And Cleveland has 4 of them. But funny enough, Tay pointed it out, our good old friend Sam Bradford is on there twice.
It's
ruining
crazy.
2 franchises.
That's crazy.
Poor Sam Bradford is on a dead money franchise twice.
That's crazy.
And then you had another good one about Brock Osweiler after that, because his name is also on the dead money list.
I think the second highest. Also with Cleveland, so he made $41 million, won a Super Bowl ring, and retired before 30. Legend.
Yeah.
Clock out.
Absolute legend.
Do you think Baker, side question, just super quick, do you think Baker Mayfield is going to do well for the Panthers? Because wouldn't that be amazing? And that is what I'm rooting for right now.
Well, let's not forget, they have Christian McCaffrey on that team. When he's healthy, he can make any quarterback look good.
And Baker's
look at Sam Darnold the first 4 games of the year. He was like, getting at least like quarterback rushing touchdowns and looking good. And people saying, oh, it's just the jet system. And then when McCaffrey got hurt, Sam Darnold showed up, and then it's like,
it would be too perfect storyline wise. So I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield to be successful.
Well, I mean, they play the Browns week 1.
1-2, yeah.
So,
and like I just saw a tweet, like odds on Baker Mayfield winning comeback player of the year is like the hot bet right now.
Oh, I like that too. Okay. So the comeback player in NFL, you don't have. There's no adversity. It's like you literally
an injury, or you were really shit the year before.
Okay.
Or you played for the Browns.
Or you played for the Browns. Next, Smash Them Barriers. Haley Wickenheiser was hired as the assistant general manager. I believe she's the 3rd female assistant general manager in the NHL, which is fucking awesome. But it's like, how good do you have to be to get hired as an AGM? You have to be one of the best female players of all time. You have to have literally have your medical degree and be a practicing doctor. And it's like, how good do you have to be? So that is amazing. And then Chris, your prayers have been answered. You have a head coach.
Nope. General manager.
Oh, okay. You have a general manager, but no head coach.
No head coach.
Well, they're going to leave it to Greer to pick him, obviously.
Mike Greer.
So Mike Greer becomes the first Black Canadian. Oh, no, he is American.
He's American, yeah.
African Americans to be a general manager of an NHL franchise, which is amazing. Chris, are you excited about this? This is your Smashing Barriers time.
Okay.
Is
Yeah. I
this
mean,
hope for the franchise?
yeah, I think so. He played for the
Explain
team,
it to me.
and you know he was those years that he was there were good years. But you know, let's see how he does in the job. I'm just excited that it's somebody other than Doug Wilson. 20 years of the same guy was too much. We need a new voice, a new vision, a new direction, and someone that's not, you know, like so obsessed with something they've done that's bad, but they're like, no, I need to make it work.
Yeah, that's why
So
I just realized Doug Wilson plays his entire career as a defenseman. Maybe that's why he was so obsessed with that back end.
I mean, it's part of the problem with the Ticats is that our head coach is defensive first
Yeah.
and explains a lot what's happening with that team, but that's a different question.
Yeah.
Or are we getting to? I think that's next, though. If you
No,
just want to
it's
keep rolling on
no.
Do you think that'll affect any
Back
kind,
out.
maybe diversity higher in the coaching position?
If I'm
Maybe.
Greer, I'm looking at like, yeah,
Yeah.
looking outside the box of your normal head coaches.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I was actually reading the Sharks subreddit, and they were saying that it's very likely that they go outside of the
The pool of
35.
33 white guys?
Yes. Now, obviously, if Trotz is on the table, Trotz come. You know, we all want Trotz, but they made it seem like it's very likely that we're gonna go outside of the
I
35
don't
guys.
think Todd's coming back because like all those other teams have already moved on, right?
Right.
That were in on him, so it's a safe bet that he's not.
What do you like? Are you impressed by Greer's resume, or are you just happy with a change?
I'm just happy with a change. It needed to happen. This change should happen 5 years ago.
Yeah.
After, well, maybe not 5 because that would have been right after the Stanley Cup final, but still, it should have happened years ago.
Well, they're doing. I mean, we'll get to our next thing, but they're doing. I think what the Bruins are starting to do. Of it, they get far and then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It keeps not working. You have the same players and it keeps not working. Those players start to break down.
We had 20
Still
years
not
of this.
working.
You know, we had 20 years of Marlowe and Thornton and like a good core of players.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. So
And then they get older, and then it didn't happen, and then they get older, and then it didn't happen. Okay, so back to back of Blue Jays questions.
yes.
Are you guys worried about the Blue Jays? Based on projections, based on how you guys thought they were going to do, Kikuchi isn't necessarily like, but their record is still, I believe, nearly identical to what it was last year. I don't know if today's game puts them one game over, but at this point last year, they're only one game better this year. Or last year was one game worse. And I was listening to a radio interview that said, you know, Shapiro at the end of last year said, you know, it was just a difference of one game. We just had to win one game.
Yeah. There's
And
also
so
an
here we
extra
are.
playoff spot this year.
Yeah, that's just gonna say like, yeah.
Exactly. Here we are, one more game ahead. Kikuchi, you know, all of the things are about him losing control, is not having his stuff. But his stats look pretty similar to career numbers, I suppose. So
He's also Jekyll and Hyde because he's had great starts. He had 2 great starts at the Yankees early in the year, and then had one like last week, and then put up a stinker yesterday or a couple days ago.
So are you guys worried? Is question one for the Blue Jays.
Oh, that was the wrong button.
No.
No, I'm not worried. I think the separation between the playoff teams and the non-playoff teams in the American League is big. And
Yeah.
as long as like if they go on a 10-game losing streak, then yes, all of a sudden there's a problem. But if they just keep playing ball the way they have been, I don't see any reason why they don't at least make the playoffs. Now, the other thing is with the Yankees being so good, they're not going to win the fucking World Series. There's no chance any team but the Yankees is in the World Series from the American League. So,
Yeah, the way the Yankees are playing now, it's disappointing.
right. So to me, whatever. Like it's a whatever year. Make the playoffs. Let's see what happens. Because who knows? But
And let's not forget, like that first year when the Jays finally got back into the playoffs, at the All-Star break, they were 50 and 51. They were one game under 500, and then went on that tear. So
Clock
as long
out.
as they can keep around 500 or just stay in a playoff spot,
yep.
Yeah.
Now,
So
also though, that year, let's not forget they did also go out and get David Price and
Yeah, I'm saying there's still time for that to happen, right? Like
right,
they could be under 500 going into the All-Star break and still make the playoffs.
right.
that brings us to my next question for you guys. So then driving home from work the other day, it was a discussion about prospects and packages and what would you trade to get bullpen arms and all that stuff. And, they were discussing, like, think of all the prospects that the Jays have kind of given away. Aside from Noah Syndergaard, is there anyone that you're like, eh? And there was someone pitching in the National League, I forget his name, who was a Blue Jays prospect, who's in Cy Young discussion right now. Osgood, maybe? Osman? Something like that. Someone's yelling at their screen somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's 29, so it's like he probably would have been traded from the system anyways. So let's ignore anyone in the farm system to get any kind of bullpen arm. Who is the player? What's the biggest package you're willing to part with to get a starting pitcher? Who on the roster, as it is right now, are you guys willing to give up to get a starting pitcher?
I'm not giving up anything because, as I said, with the Yankees being this good, I'm not mortgaging the future for this season. We still have years left with this core. There's no reason to blow it up right now. Or
Especially
to even
with the amount of control and the money as well.
Right.
What about someone like a Teoscar?
No way. No way.
Who isn't that, what about a Biggio?
DeBiggio's kind of valuable because he can play any position.
That's what I was
right?
gonna
So,
say. He'd be the one, but he you put him in anywhere.
Yeah. Someone gets hurt, you put Biggio in.
So, Chris, your answer is you don't want to trade anybody because you don't think you're going to win this year. So, what's the point?
Right.
Mark,
Don't blow up the
do you
mark
have
of the
similar
future.
logic, or you just don't think they need another starting pitcher?
I mean, I think they do need another starting pitcher,
Knock out.
but I'm not willing to mortgage any of the core players or the young players. There's still a ceiling that can be reached with these guys. We haven't hit it yet with any of them.
Yeah.
Right? So there's
So,
still
kind
a
of
lot
saying this,
room.
Chris, like it's not worth it for
It's
this year.
Not for this year. If we were like, if it's like this is the last year where we're gonna be able to keep this core together, then yes,
Yeah.
start maybe blowing something up to make it happen.
Like what AA did when he was going to lose his
Right.
core. He's like, fuck it, I'm selling everything, which he did,
Right.
Yeah.
and they made a run.
And the run was fun.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out, but it was fun. That was
was a
the
good-
bat
it was
flip
also-
year.
Players that second goddamn fucking doubleheader against the Royals after clinching the division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have gotten the number 1 seed, but no, you had yourself with the number 2 seed, and then
Yep.
now you're on the road on the LCS.
Chris, I don't know if you even want to.
How do you
Get to
spell? How do you
the-
spell debacle? You want
But
me to
this
tell
is-
you?
DICATS.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I put this on because very last week, one podcast ago,
Mhm.
you and Mark were debating about this upcoming game, about this season. Mark was very optimistic, where Chris was not. Hamilton was winning for a very long time and then coughed it up.
What a
And,
shocker!
Mark passed along a screen grab of your messages
Oh,
of hey,
good.
Chris, have you left yet, and it was a picture of you already leaving the stadium.
We're already walking to my car.
So, gentlemen, was Chris right?
I mean, I'm always right, but aside from that, this team. Okay, so I don't know what the problem is with this team because they are good enough. They are good enough to be. They should at least be 2-2 right now.
Yeah.
And this is, but putting them at the bottom of the power rankings, I totally agree with. I totally agree with them being dead
They close
last.
out games.
They
can't
lost
close
to
out
the
games.
worst team in the league. They are the worst team. Now what I have a problem with now, who was number one on this power rankings? Was it
I think BC.
BC?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good. Okay, because BC should be number one. Winnipeg should be number two. Yeah, but I mean, like it's hard to watch this team. we're worried that I saw someone post something about
oh no, Blue Bombers won. Lions too.
incorrect.
Clock out.
Incorrect. The Bombers have somehow won 4 games, whereas BC has like actually won 4 or 3 games. Like they've actually like smashed people, whereas the Bombers have been like they've lucked into victories.
They almost lost.
Yeah. Oh,
Red Blacks twice.
Against the Tigers?
yeah. And then they almost lost to Toronto. Well, Toronto would have tied
Went
it.
for 2-point convert instead. Yeah.
They should have went for a 2-point convert. Fucking anyways, that direction end zone, those uprights, they're like cursed or something. So many misses on that, it's crazy.
So, Mark, are you slightly less optimistic?
Slightly yes, but I still think they're a playoff team just because.
Well, they're a playoff team because the rest of the division is
These
a
is just-
joke.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like
It's
so,
to me what it always is. You look at the East and the West, and you're like,
but it
all right,
shouldn't have
there's
been
teams
like that this year. And Montreal fired their coach today. They're the best
Really?
team in the division. And they fired their coach today.
Oh my God, they're the best team in the division at 1-3.
Nope.
I've
they're-
gotta say,
But
before,
even
I'm
just
not
watching the
positive.
games, they're the team that's playing the best out of all the Eastern teams as well.
just put all the teams together. There's no East-West rivalry. Mister whoever
But
Never
the-
was an East-West rivalry. There never
guy
was.
who's running the CFL, please listen to us.
Randy
No one-
Ambrosi.
No, I almost said Ambrosia. No one gives a shit about East versus West. Just put it in a pile. You care?
The people care. There are people that care.
You wouldn't just put everyone in a pot and have everyone just face each other?
No, because the crossover does the exact same thing. The crossover it accomplishes the
Well, it
exact
doesn't,
same
because
goal.
then you don't have the 2 best teams in the finals.
You should have a team from the East and a team from the West in the finals.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Then
how
you
the
don't-
St. Louis Blues got to the Stanley Cup Finals in the first 3 years of their existence, and they got smashed in the finals, not winning a single NHL game because they had the original 6, and then they had the post expansion in a separate division.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And that I am with Mark, obviously. I want the 2 best teams in the Grey Cup.
Right, I guess. Okay, I mean I can see that, but I don't know.
Okay, let us get to our deep dive of
Deep dive.
basketball that Chris knows so much about.
I'm so prepared to talk about this.
It
Because
is much to Chris's disappointment for all of the notes he prepared. It is less about, I think, the actual situation for me and more just an interesting discussion on athletes.
right. Well, that's good. But I just want to say, Kevin Durant. That's a name that I know.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's good.
So Kevin Durant,
And I
left
hear he's
Golden
good.
State. Did he, Mark? Did he demand a trade from Golden State, or he just left?
He just left.
In free agency.
Because Draymond got in his ear and he was listening to the tweets about how Kevin just, just along for the ride. He never
Right.
really won the championships.
So
He's like,
he
"Go to Brooklyn and prove that I
Yeah.
can do it."
he went to Brooklyn, built a super team around him, got injured, signed a 5-year extension with a buttload of money. After last year, now in free agency is demanding a trade.
And let's not forget, when he first signed with Brooklyn, he didn't play that first year. They paid him to sit up because he was still recovering from that Achilles injury.
Wow. Okay, so I have some questions. As you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big basketball fan.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, so is he good enough? If you put him on the Raptors, is he good enough to put them? Like, is this a Kawhi situation?
No, it's different because it didn't cost the team a huge package and a huge chunk of your core to acquire Kawhi.
Right, because Kawhi was just
Kawhi was coming off a year where he only played 9 games, so people weren't sure, like, is he really the same guy?
right.
Can he really be that superstar that he was before? Whereas this one is, I'm Kevin Durant. You saw what Rudy Gay got.
Yeah,
He got 2 years. 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 He got 2 I'm going to be worth more than that.
Okay.
But let's take, because we'll talk about what package the Raptors would do. Let's ignore that. Let's take away Scotty Barnes, because I think that's probably in the discussion. Plop Kevin Durant in instead, or are you winning a championship?
No.
What if you take, instead of Barnes, you take Siakam?
No.
So what?
You know why? Because look at Durant with Harden and Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Did nothing.
Right.
Durant with Curry, Thompson, Draymond Green did something. But that's because those three did it before he did it.
Right.
So they knew how to win a championship.
So is this, so Mark, I'm getting the sense that you don't want the Raptors to make this move.
I don't want them giving up a chunk of anything. If they want to do the same deal that Kawhi got, you get one superstar or one star and a prospect and maybe 2 first-round picks, sure. I'm not giving away 5, 6 first-round picks or 4 like the Jazz did or got from Minnesota.
Right. 4 first-round picks.
5.
5.
There's one they can swap.
I don't think he's that elite player anymore. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's
32 as well.
I don't think he's in that conversation.
32 is so old.
In the NBA, it is.
Right.
But especially when he started playing in the NBA at 19 too.
Right.
So he built a team, like it was this super team, and I remember like we were talking season ended or when the Nets got bounced, and it's like it was literally pretty much an all-star team.
Mm-hmm.
They just for some reason still didn't do it. The Raptors are in contention. You guys think he would have to give up too much? So Mark, what superstar who would you be willing to give up of how the Raptors exist now in order to get Kevin Durant?
Like that's on the roster right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be willing to give up maybe Van Fleet.
Like put together a package for me to get Kevin Durant from the Nets.
I already said. So once there was one superstar player, so Van Fleet,
Okay.
you give a young prospect, maybe it wouldn't be Barnes, obviously. So you maybe have to give him a couple of maybe a Chris Boucher, and then 2 first-round picks.
You'd give up 2 first-round picks still for Kevin Durant?
Fine. 2 first-round picks is fine.
It's not going to happen for 2 first-round picks.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's as far as I'm willing to go. Anything more than that, don't even bother.
So my question, I'm like kind of sportsy, but for Chris's sake, really this situation's. I don't need you to put together a Raptors package that you'd be willing to pay for Kevin Durant.
Thanks, appreciate it.
But I guess it's what I've asked before when we've discussed about trading superstars and stuff for Mark. Scotty Barnes might be a Kevin Durant, but you have the opportunity at actually Kevin Durant. So you still wouldn't make that swap?
No, because I still have Scotty Barnes at 24, making a lot less money. Right?
Yeah.
And he's already played with the team, and he's familiar with the system, so there's no baggage there. He doesn't have to have the ball every freaking time.
But he might not turn into Kevin Durant.
That's fine. I mean, I'd rather have another Kawhi Leonard than a Kevin Durant. And that's what Barnes was projected to be. He's that defensive mentality and can lead a team, and he's that guy. Kevin Durant, he's a nice accessory to, not on to winning your championship.
So how do you guys feel about what he's doing in general? And because this sparked a bit of debate in another thread, another group chat. I think Dave posted it, and another friend was like, "Yeah, he should be able to sit out if he doesn't think he's getting what he's like. Career is short," and it just created a bit of a debate of how do you guys feel about specifically Kevin Durant's situation. So we've talked in the past, and I talked at the beginning of the podcast about the younger athletes that sign the contracts. And then they sit out saying, no, you have a way better asset in me. But this is a superstar who signed with a superstar team for a superstar contract, and after 1 year went, oh no, this isn't going well. In general, how do you guys feel about it?
I mean, I'm never a fan of someone like pulling this kind of stuff. Like, nah, fuck this, trade me. Like, I'm never a fan of that mentality. And then what's to say the Raptors don't mortgage their entire future and trade for him, and then he comes here for a year and says, "Yeah, you know what? Trade me again." Right? Like there's no guarantee that won't happen.
And, you know,
Yeah.
this all really started when LeBron did it.
Right.
But the whole decision, ESPN special.
The decision.
And since then, like every superstar in the NBA has always, okay, now I want to leave, no matter what their contract
Right.
demands were.
But LeBron was a free agent, was he not?
I mean, he was, but he wanted to go to a team to make a super team, right? So
Right.
they kind of organized themselves to go to Miami.
Couldn't he have just brought all those people to Cleveland?
Yeah.
Could,
Well, Dwayne Wade was under contract in Miami. That's why you couldn't bring him to Cleveland. So
right,
he
but
went there instead.
Chris Bosh could have
And
went to
Chris Bosh
Cleveland.
was a free agent as well.
Right.
No, Chris Bosh was a free agent. He could have.
Yeah, he could have
joined.
went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then
What
Dwayne Wade should have demanded a trade. And there you go, problem solved. Stay in
What a
Cleveland.
wild time that was.
It's insane.
The decision.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Like when they had them out on stage and they were like
WWE.
it was crazy.
Well, just the fact that whole thing was like an entire press conference
Yeah.
of like, I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach. What a
So weird.
wild time.
Yeah, whatever. Not say Miami. I'm going to South Beach. Like, say
Yeah.
I'm joining the Miami Heat.
So I guess my question, do you guys see this as a normal business where you could Chris, you decide I don't want to work at my current employer anymore. Like,
Right.
oh, you signed a contract that said you would be our manager.
Yeah.
And you were like, I did this for 6 months. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, that's fair.
Yeah.
He's saying something. It wasn't what he thought it was going to be. He's allowed to say, this isn't what I thought.
Yes, I
But
mean
then you opt out of your contract.
that's
No,
right.
Mark?
But here's the thing with Kevin Durant. They literally did everything he wanted done.
Right.
They got him James Harden. They got him Ben Simmons. They even got him the coach that he wanted, that no one thought should be the coach of the Nets, in Steve Nash, because that's what Kevin Durant wanted. They literally did everything for this guy, and it blew up in their faces. And he's saying, yeah, you know what? I'm going to bounce out. This was all you. You orchestrated this whole thing.
But I get, like, yeah, there is that. Like, that's so shitty. And you're right. And you brought so many pieces into this, and they agreed to so much, and they did so much for you. But it is within your rights. Slavery is illegal. You can't work for nothing. Like,
Right.
it is within your rights to say, I don't want to do this anymore. But then the where I lose sympathy is demanding a trade.
Right.
Like,
No,
just
that, but demanding a trade to already established powerhouses.
so that was it's the demanding a trade when you should be like, you back out. I'm just going to void my contract.
Can a
And-
player do that?
Not in the NBA. No,
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
I didn't think so.
And then B, demanding a trade to specific people. So if we are taking Chris, he resigns from his job, isn't what he thought it was going to be.
Yep.
I need you guys to find me a new job as a
Making-
manager.
Making
And I
more
will
money.
I
well,
will
just
work
one at a
only
store
one
that
of these 5 places.
yeah, that's already well established. They're hitting all their
Yeah.
metrics, all of that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
paid more and I work less. Can
Like
we make
that-
that happen?
That's what blows my mind is I don't want to work for you anymore. Can you find me somewhere else to work at specifically one of these 5 places?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. Let me get right on that.
Is there oh sorry.
I was saying, so as much as I harp on LeBron switching teams, at least when he switched teams, he built them into winners and won a championship.
Right.
And he
He
didn't
he won a
sit out and demand
championship.
trades, right?
Or where he's gone.
Right. Okay. Well, that's
Except for
good.
when he first got drafted from Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he
But
goes
he
to
went
Miami,
back.
wins-
But he went back, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna
And
make it
won.
up to you guys and win one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But any of the cities he's gone to, it's never been from sitting out and demanding a trade, right?
No.
Hasn't it always been at the end of contracts?
Yep.
Yeah, it was always like he always had the player option out or the club option out. And he
Yeah,
always opted
and
up.
that's yeah, player option after every year and all contracts forever now. And you can walk away now from any contract you want.
Perfect.
But the team's not. But then it's also like, billionaires that own the Nets. Wah wah. Everyone's still gonna come see you play. Who cares?
But then you see the money that these guys are getting too. Like Jokic just got a $250 million deal.
Yeah.
Biggest contract in NBA history.
$250 million?
$270 million.
How many years?
5. Yeah.
Wait.
Chris's eyes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The NBA is paying players that much?
Yes.
How? Where is this money
TV
coming
money.
from?
TV money.
No. The TV, are the TV ratings that good?
For the NBA, it is. Yes.
Are they?
Yeah.
No. They can't be.
It's almost the level of NFL, and let's not forget, the NFL has way more
No
players than NBA
fucking
players,
way.
right? That's
Yeah,
why.
No,
the
and I
average player in the NBA
understand.
can make
I
more money.
understand.
Like all these contracts that were signed like a couple days ago. Like there was a $240 million contract, a $230 million contract.
I just don't understand. Like,
Chris is very upset.
I can't believe there's that much money floating around the NBA.
When you're back-to-back MVP, you get that money.
Again, I'm just saying that a 5-year contract
Yeah.
at $270 million,
Yeah.
that's NFL money to me.
That's
Yeah.
NFL quarterback money.
Right. That's baseball money where baseball doesn't have a salary cap, so they can, do whatever the fuck they want. The Yankees are like, yeah, whatever, let's just write off 270 mil. This makes no sense because I always put the NBA with hockey, like similar interest level. But I guess
The NBA
not.
has the big TV money.
What happened to the NBA? How did it explode?
TV money.
Yeah, but in popularity, I just didn't think the NBA was actually that popular. Like, who the fuck cares about basketball?
It's an extremely accessible game. I think basketball with immigrant population, I think, for me, because it's like it's you don't need green space. It can be played literally anywhere. The equipment you need to play it, both like the ball and the net and what you need to wear, is very limited.
Right. And let's not forget the coverage up here. It pales with the comparison to the coverage they get in the States, right? So you don't really know how popular it is unless you live in the market.
Yeah, I guess that's crazy. I just didn't think that in my head, NFL obviously king.
Yeah.
Right? Like and by a long shot, but you're telling me that the ratings for the NBA are close to NFL numbers? How close?
Oh, I wouldn't say super close, but it's a lot closer than hockey or baseball are.
Right. Well, and I mean, baseball's biggest problem is there's too many games.
Yeah.
Like, that's baseball's problem.
It's long and boring, and humans are making decisions that robots should.
Well, yes, that is also true.
What was it? They're testing it out in the minors, or robot umpires, and I believe it's something like it shaved off an average of 9 minutes a game.
Wow. That's crazy.
Keep the base umpires. Just the balls and strikes. That's all. That's all.
Balls and
That's
strikes.
all I want.
Have him behind the plate still. He can still stand there.
Right, and just announce what the computer called.
Yeah, his little buzzer in his ear, and he can still do that. Strike 3. He can still have the cool motion, but the robot tells him what to say.
You see when Pujols, he got called for a second strike, but the umpire forgot what the count was and called him out, strikeout, and Pujols turned him like, no, that was strike 2.
Amazing. Imagine being the umpire and losing count. You have the little clicker.
Yeah.
That's what the clicker's for.
You have the little clicker.
I will be thrilled with. We went to the game on Sunday. Good time. Very sad, losey game.
Yep.
It was the Sunday game where the Blue Jays were really behind. We were with Rowan. Our high water mark was 7 innings. We are like, fucking do it. And then it was such a long game and they were losing that at the top of 7, we are like, let's go. And then they started to come back, and it was one of those like,
Oh.
I almost kind of like, if they lose now, it's okay because I left.
Right.
And if they win, I'll be really sad that I missed a hell of a comeback.
Yeah.
But then you can spin saying they lost because you left.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's right.
Comeback could have happened.
Now you got to stay.
Rowan was a little angel. Again, he loves it there. He
That's
skipped his
awesome.
nap. It was totally fine, smiling at people. Another little kid came and gave us his balloon, and I was like, I don't want this. It was a balloon animal.
Yep.
It was the bird.
Oh, it was Junior J Saturday or Sunday too. You guys
It was Junior J
done
Sunday.
the whole thing, yeah.
There is a huge line all the time.
Yeah.
And it is like clearly for like Dave and I like baseball and we enjoy watching baseball.
Right.
So it's going to be sad when Rowan's old enough that he wants to go do those things because it's like, no, but I don't want to
the game. Yeah.
I don't want to play Plinko right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch baseball. There's a mini golf thing set up.
Really?
But it's way at the back. Like there's not even any TVs there. And you're like, fuck, kid, I don't want to play mini golf.
Yeah, I came here to watch the game.
I'm here to watch the game.
But that's okay. No, here's the thing. You train them that we're at the game to watch the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, say, oh, if we got time, we'll, and they're still doing it later, we'll come a little bit early so you can do that. But you tell them.
Yeah.
Game's out there, and that's why we're here.
Because they do the whole stuff after the game, too.
He was looking around and clapping when everyone was clapping. So it was exceptionally cute.
That's awesome. Did you
Was he eating a pizza? I saw, like, bread in his hand.
He was eating a pretzel.
Pretzel, that's what it was. Okay.
I bought it at the stadium last time we brought him because I was like, what bread product can I shove in your face?
Yeah.
And I just knocked the salt off. And this time I went to my farmer's market in the morning, bought a bigger, cheaper pretzel, and brought it with me. And so he and I were sharing a pretzel, and then he kept trying to go for my drink, and I kept saying, bad baby.
Did you guys see what the Edmonton Elks have announced?
Canadian starting quarterback?
Well, yes. By the way, Hamilton loses to Canadian starting quarterbacks like it's their job. But they've announced that for the rest of this season, children under 12 get into the game for free with an adult ticket.
That's amazing.
Why?
Are you listening, Argonauts?
Are you listening, Toronto Argonauts, MLSC? Are you listening, Montreal Alouettes? Are you listening, BC Lions? You all have problems.
No one.
You know what kids want to do when they're at the football games? They want to eat stuff and drink stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
And moms want to drink more.
Yeah, because the kids there.
We have our child at the game with us.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like. No one wants to come to your games anyways. So why not give away the free ticket that's going to be empty?
Yeah.
And you're right. Now there's concessions. There's potentially on-site parking.
Right.
There's things used to get services. Like,
yeah, if you can take your kid out for a $25 ticket, so now you paid for your ticket, and you're taking your kid for free. Like, this is an easy night of entertainment.
Let's really quickly list the cities that you just said have a problem.
BC, Montreal, Toronto, and Edmonton all have problems. Actually, Calgary's also not doing so great either.
I was going to say the first 3 that you listed. So if you don't know, the BC Lions played out of Vancouver. You listed Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal.
The biggest markets in Canada should be filling the seats of these stadiums. It's bonkers to me that these teams are having these problems when the small market teams and I mean, I'm not listen, it was really empty on Friday at the donut box there. It might have been because it was the holiday or whatever, but the stands were pretty empty. So it's not just the big market teams, because I watched a Saskatchewan game earlier and there was a lot of people dressed up as empty seats there too. So this whole thing is happening across the league. And we've also noticed that the game day stuff at the games is less than it was. years ago, Canada Day game, we had huge fireworks after the game, big celebration. This year there was nothing. They haven't done a flyover. They don't bother getting anybody to sing the national anthem. They're just like, oh, you guys sing along with us. Like, it's these small things that just make it seem so, like, cheap. We just hosted the fucking Grey Cup like 6 months ago. 7 months ago, whatever. But, like, what happened? Apparently there was all kinds of money that came in from that. Guess not.
Yeah, so the league-wide.
League-wide, there seems to be a tightening of the belt, which is very strange.
The COVID's still probably recovering, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Mark, did it feel empty last season? Like, we went to all the games last season and they didn't feel empty, and COVID was a bigger concern last year than it is this year.
No, I mean,
It was also very, very good.
What's that?
The team was also very good.
Right, but this is only the second home game.
I know.
Like,
but they've looked awful.
It doesn't matter. We shouldn't have given up this fast.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, because I was talking to my other buddy about this. If they start the backup in the next game, I'm not even going to the game. Like, I'm not going. Because if they give up on Dane the way they gave up on Zach, back-to-back Grey Cup champion, Grey Cup MVP, Zach Collaros, who has lost one meaningful game since joining the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. If they give up on Dane the way they gave up on him, I'm done with this team. Like, I'm done. I'm actually done, because this is it's so short-sighted. I mean, I fucking lost my mind. I lost my mind that year when they gave up on Zach, because I knew they were giving up on the good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't let them do it again.
But then they still did okay, even without Zach Collaros.
Right.
With Rizzoli Miles.
If we had Zach Collaros in 19 and 21, we would be back-to-back Grey Cup champions. Because Zach Collaros wouldn't have lost either one of those games.
He wasn't a turnover freak like those quarterbacks we have right now.
Correct. And I'm worried that they would give up on him. They're going to give up on Dane, and I don't think that what's happening right now is his fault.
No, because it's a very similar team.
Yeah.
To last year, right?
Offensive line is much worse, and we have no receivers.
Well, there you go.
So, I mean, it's not his fault.
No. So my last quick Kevin Durant question.
Right.
Tirade. Chris, you kind of asked it, but Mark, as our resident basketball expert, do you think how he is handling this is going to affect who makes an offer for him? Or the teams with deep pockets don't really give a shit? Like, is there any fear, like Chris said at the beginning of the conversation, if he joins the Raptors, you give up a lot, and then he just, after a year you don't win, he's like, oh, no, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Well, I'll tell you this, the teams that he wants to go to don't have what the Nets can offer or wants in return. Right? Because that would decimate their teams.
So
they're contenders because of what they have, not because of a single player or two players.
So what happens if nobody comes to the table with something that the Nets are okay with? Is he going to play for them next year, or is he going to sit?
He might do a Harden
and just sit.
Right? Just come up, go into camp out of shape, play like crap.
Yeah.
Right?
But tank your value, and I guess, like, I mean,
yeah, just to get out of there, right?
Right. But that's shitty, man. That's so shitty.
You're Kevin fucking Durant. You're supposed to be one of the greatest players of all time. You should make that fucking work. Who cares about Kyrie Irving? Get him out of there if he's the problem.
Right.
Ben Simmons is the problem. Get him out of there. Bring in players that you want. Make it fucking work.
Yeah.
This is the same guy who, when he had a 3-1 lead against the Warriors with Westbrook, and they blew that series, and then Golden State goes on to lose to Cleveland in the finals, what does Durant do? He leaves the team to join the Warriors.
To join the Warriors. That's right. I forgot
Instead
about
of taking
that
next step with the Thunder, who were right there.
Yep.
He just no, I'm just gonna jump over here. They've already done it, so I'm just gonna go with them.
Can't beat him. Join him.
Yeah, he's never been able to win on his own. He's never been able to build a team around him. That's his whole thing.
So again, I'm gonna reiterate: Mark does not want KD on the Raptors.
I'll take him for pennies on the dollar. That's
For
it.
for
I don't
two
want
two first round picks, Van
first-round
Vliet
picks,
and who did you
and
say?
Chris Boucher.
Chris
Chris
Boucher.
Boucher.
There you go.
That's fine.
That's
I'll do that. Deal.
Mark's final offer.
Yeah.
And do you think that will improve the Raptors? Like, how many more games is that going to bump them up to what
Well,
they'd have?
probably 10, 15. Because
Really?
Durant is a closer. He's a scorer.
Yep.
That's what the Raptors lack, right?
Yep.
They don't have that go-to guy that
So
they had in Kawhi.
does this gets you? Wait, they made the playoffs this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so this gets you into the second round of the playoffs at least.
It makes you a title contender.
Right?
It makes
Okay.
you better seeding going into the playoffs for sure.
Mhm.
This
But
makes
then I'm
you
worried about what the fucking Celtics are doing because they got Brogdon for nothing,
right.
and they already have Tatum, Smart, and Brown on that team.
I know all of those people.
You
I
know
know.
Mark Smart. He's a douche. Oh, you don't remember that one playoff series against the Raptors where
No.
he was? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got crazy. Yeah, he was a real jerk.
Yeah, he was. I remember the jerk things he did.
Like tall hair, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Sorry, tall hair.
Like, he's got tall hair. Like he's got big hair, but it's like up.
I've just never heard anyone say tall hair before.
Yeah, it's not like I think to
Like
me it's
Marge
different than
Simpson
big
tall.
hair. Yeah, it's like it's tall
Okay.
hair,
Okay, Marge Simpson hair. Now it's coming clear.
like a bouffant kind of like tall. How would you describe like a beehive? That's a tall hair to me.
Yes. I just big. I think is what I would say, not necessarily
Big, but no, big hair.
He's
means,
like, whoa,
up.
like
Up. I would
big
just say up.
curls or
Sideshow Bob is
a
big.
fro or something. Like that's
Yeah.
big hair, but
Right.
like tall hair is like a bouffant or like a big updo. I just need to Google this to just make sure. I'm now picturing them before I judge Chris for not knowing who it is.
You can judge me. I'm the one who's on a sports
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
that
okay.
completely ignores basketball.
Yeah, that's tall hair. He's got tall hair.
Hmm.
He was a real butthole to the Raptors.
What a butthole! Oh, insane crash.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about the British Grand Prix.
Oh, do we want to?
yeah.
Do we want
That
to?
was an epic first turn crash.
Do we want to show this on the thing? Hold on.
Yeah,
let
yeah.
me-
It's not like disgusting.
No. I
Yeah,
just-
everyone's okay.
There we go. Let's see. Oh, okay. Whoa, he's upside down. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that's
And
that's
then
not. Whoa, Jesus Christ! Wow, that's crazy. I mean,
totally
that's
just
not how
like-
the car's supposed to drive.
No.
no.
You're supposed to have it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, we watched this and Dave was like honestly, how is he alive?
That halo, because they put
Yeah.
that in because of, for reasons like this.
So that way
and it
people
saved his
don't
life.
fucking die. Like that's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be so scary.
And what's
God
even more
damn.
crazy is that during that same crash, there's a separate second crash with Alex Albon.
Yeah.
He got rear-ended because Bottas in front of him slowed down because he saw the car flip. And so
I-
Albon put on the brakes, and then Vettel hit him from behind, and then he smashed into the wall, and he had to go to the hospital.
Crazy.
And then the end of that race was crazy, too. Like 5 cars were after the safety
Yeah.
car restart. It was what a race to watch. It was great.
Yeah, F1's exciting.
Mhm.
Any other sports news in addition to our F1 we wanted to discuss? Nick Kyrgios is going to his first Wimbledon,
Wimbledon's
or
happening.
his first major semifinal, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy because he is so fun.
Mhm.
I'm really excited for that personality.
Brian Marchment died.
What?
Yeah.
When? Now?
Like
Today?
I heard about it today.
I think he
Sharks
died
announced it
yesterday.
today. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it was sudden. That's what they said.
Oh, COVID vaccine.
Obviously, the COVID vaccine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course, 100%. That would be it.
I hear suddenly, and it's for, I don't know. I guess he's in his 50s. It really could be anything.
Yeah.
Can even be CTE. Frig.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we will wrap this up then, and I will take my sleepiness and do good with it by going to sleep.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, thanks. Do you want to quickly pull up a picture of Marcus Smart?
Well, sorry, what's the name?
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. We'll
He
see if
wants
this
to
is
show you
called
the tall hair.
tall hair. All right, let's see.
Full hair.
All right, we got this. Doesn't look like tall hair. This is
There's one of him
rated there.
pointing. The bottom, yeah, right there, where he's pointing at the camera. That's tall hair.
yeah, I guess that's pretty tall.
But how would you describe it?
I would describe it as big. I wouldn't.
That's
tall.
not big.
Tall is just a weird word for hair.
Big hair implies a width to it.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay. Up. I would call it up hair or an updo.
I would say Natasha Lyonne has big hair.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chris Pike has tall hair.
Chris Pike has the best hair.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind on that, by the way.
Oh, last week's episode's phenomenal.
I've heard it's really good. So
Oh
The
my god.
Star Trek thing?
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Worlds, really good.
God damn it! I was like, how is it? What athlete don't I know? Just typed it in. It's like, God damn it, you guys!
What about the Orville, Mark? Are you caught up on that?
I haven't watched it since that season 1 break. I haven't gone back to it. Yeah, that's how long.
Whoa.
I never
Okay.
fell in love with the show.
The first season's a little rough.
Yeah.
It's real good. They did a really good episode about like trans stuff this last week. It was
Yeah.
real good, and of course it got review bombed.
Because of
Because
trans stuff.
how dare you talk about trans stuff in a adult and accepting way?
You saw the Stranger Worlds with Angel, right?
Angel,
The pirate?
no,
So you're that far behind. Okay, so I won't say any more then.
yeah.
I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I think I only watched the first 3 or 4.
Okay.
We just finished episode 3 of Stranger Things.
You're that behind.
Yeah, we're very far behind.
I've only
on
ever
it.
watched the first season of it, so
Really.
First season's really good. Second
Yeah.
season's a little not as good. Third season sucked. And then this season's back to being really good again.
yeah. See, that sounds like a
Wow.
lot of work for 2 seasons that are meh.
I know.
So like,
But
meh.
I watched
story-
I binged these in a day, so it's not like I'm
right.
putting weeks for commitment.
The story's pretty good in all of the seasons, but yeah, I felt like season 2 was just season 1 again. It's like, here we go again.
It was, yeah, that's why I was a little bit. But the season 3 was just that whole Billy thing was just
It was so weird.
yeah.
I hope there's a payoff with the spoiler with the Russian thing, because otherwise it's such a weird.
There is.
Okay.
They
Okay.
continue that story, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you
'cause
know who I saw? Because Lindsay was watching it, and fucking what's his name from Game of Thrones is in it. The fucking faceless Jack and Hagar.
yeah. He plays Enzo, yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Oh fuck me! I was staring at it. And I was like, "Who is this guy?"
It's he has like a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's throwing you off is the mustache and the short hair.
Oh,
His eyes are the same.
His and the voice when
Yeah.
he's talking, I'm like, that's Jack and Hagar.
It was that. Oh, thank you, Jesus Christ.
You're
That's
welcome.
about me
Saved
for a
the day.
while. Thank you so much. Well, on that note, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff at Scotch Porting. Let us know what package you would be willing to trade of the Raptors to get Kevin Durant, and what package of the Blue Jays would you be willing to put together to get a starting pitcher. And let us know if there's anything you would like to put together for this year. You can't think about like Blue Jays for this year. Would you give anything up? And the Raptors for this coming year, what would you give up for Kevin Durant?
Would you give
Thanks
up
for
your
listening.
package?
Yep. Thanks for listening. Would you give up your package?